So the last time I travelled overseas was in 2017 when I went to Japan. I was super excited about travelling to San Francisco. I've never been to America before, and I was curious about how similar or different the culture would be, especially since I live in Australia. The flight was about 13.5 hours, which surprisingly didn't go by too slowly with all the in-flight entertainment and, our phones and laptops and stuff. Also super surprising, the plane food was actually not too bad. The first meal we had on the flight was probably the best plane food I had ever tasted, if I'm being honest. We also saw a lightning storm during our flight, which was pretty cool. But it was kind of weird to leave Sydney at noon and then arrive in America on the same date but a few hours before. So we arrived at 8-ish a.m. We kind of travelled back in time a little, I guess. We were so incredibly tired after landing at LAX, but we couldn't rest. The first thing we had to do was try and find SIM cards for our phones, so we had to take an Uber to T-Mobile, and they set us up with the plans, except my phone couldn't and still can't receive any calls, which kind of defeats the purpose of the whole thing, I guess. Then the plan was to rest up a bit, rent a car and drive the rest of the way to San Francisco, and it's I think it was a 9-hour drive all up. So we found a cheap motel, we slept for 4 hours, and then we kind of just went on our way. Had Carl's Jr. for dinner. Note to self, small size American drinks are the equivalent of large Australian size drinks. Free refills too, which is nice. We stopped at Fresno for the night and then continued the next day. By this time, I think we were both feeling kind of gross and sick. When you just have gotten off a really long flight and then you just haven't really been able to rest properly or to settle properly. But the drive was really nice. Speaking of driving, I'm still not used to driving on the other side of the road. I actually hit an island while I was driving, which isn't great. But, I don't think anyone noticed, and there wasn't really, any damage to the car except a scratch. So it's fine, it's totally fine. The scenery was so beautiful, the mountains and stuff, so nice. We also stopped by, a fruit stand that was, at a farm, I guess. I don't know. We ate lunch and we bought some snacks there, which was pretty nice. And then we finally arrived to the apartment in San Francisco at, 5 p.m. or something, I think. It was a long-ass journey. So the first thing on our touristy agenda was visiting Pier 39. I had no idea what to expect, except that there would be sea lions and clam chowder. I was happy even just walking down the street though, because the architecture here and the old buildings and stuff, they're so pretty. The pier was so much more crowded than I expected, but I had a really good time looking at all the novelty shops in the area. Something I've noticed and something I really like about being here is that a lot of the shops and restaurants are kind of themed, or a lot more themed than they are back home. I think some people might find that kind of cheesy or tacky, but I find it really immersive and I think it's really cute. We decided to have a snack break, and I was really happy to find that there was a Mrs. Fields here because I love soft, large cookies. I've noticed that there are a few places around here that sell those, and I'm really happy. And yeah, there were some boats and seagulls and some art and stuff, but most of the time we were just looking at shops, to be honest. So after checking out almost every single store, we decided to eat, and I love bread balls and I love cold loaves and stuff, so I was pretty happy with my clam chowder. Then sunset hit and we followed the sound of sea lions. It was pretty cold by now and it was really windy, but the sunset was still worth it. It was beautiful and the sea lions were pretty amusing to watch. We also ended up buying some souvenirs, even though we knew it was probably more expensive here than other places. I don't know, just like fully immersing ourselves in the tourist experience, I guess. I also love these like pressed coin things. I collected them a lot when I went to Japan, and I have some from Australia too, so you know, like, why not, right? So the next place we visited was San Francisco Zoo. I don't think I have too much to say about it. We saw a lot of animals and insects. It doesn't rank too high in my like ranking of zoos, I guess. But one thing I did get out of the whole experience is that prairie dogs are the cutest animals in the world, and you cannot change my mind about that. I like didn't even know what they were before this day, but after reading about them and like googling them, oh my god, they're so cute. We also got to see some bumblebees, and like they weren't in an exhibit or anything, they were just like flying around the flowers. But they're so cute, and I've never seen one in Australia. I don't even know if we have them, but the way they roll around and collect pollen is really adorable. We also specifically came to look at red pandas, and we got to see one. It was really cute. We wish we could have seen more, but I think the trail that you could see more of them on was like closed, so that was a shame. So we ended up buying some red panda merch instead, I guess. After that we went to Goodwill, where I bought a few clothing items, and we also visited Japantown, but more on that later. For dinner we visited our very first diner. It was really busy, but it was pretty good. It was a pretty busy day. We were really tired afterwards, but it was good. It was fun. We could see the Golden Gate Bridge from our apartment, so we figured it was finally time to visit. We decided to go later in the afternoon in hopes of getting some nice sunset views, but like we ended up waiting 3 hours or so for the sun to go down anyway. It was so windy on this day, especially in this area. This is definitely a popular tourist destination. There was a lot of information about the bridge, which I was too lazy to read if I'm honest. And there was a gift shop which sold lots of souvenirs and touristy stuff, as expected. Towards the end of the day, I saw these little mice scurrying in and out from under the bushes where we were sitting, and I thought it was the most adorable thing. Like, I'm not really sure what they are or what they were doing, but it was pretty amusing to see them like pop their heads in and out. At night, we went to another diner and I ate a grilled cheese with tomato soup. It made me feel really warm inside, which is exactly what I needed for such a cold day. And I hadn't tried that combo, so it was really good. I definitely approve, and I want more. And now we get to Japantown. So we actually visited Japantown like 3 times, with the first 2 being kind of unintentional or accidental. Both visits we were short on time and felt like we didn't get to explore everything, so we decided to come back again. We were craving noodles, so that's what we did first, and then after that we basically just browsed around the shops for the rest of the day. And this is where the majority of my money spending happened for this month, but I have no regrets about it. This is probably my favorite area so far, not just because of all the Japanese culture and food, but because of all the art that I saw here. So I'm not extremely immersed in art culture back home, but I feel like there are definitely way less opportunities to get like my type of art out into the world over there than there is over here. So apart from the artist alley stuff, I noticed that most of the stationery and gift shops actually held like merchandise created by artists that I knew and like followed on Instagram. And it might sound weird, but that was really encouraging for me because it's not something I see back in Australia. Anyway, I spent a lot of money because of this. Please don't judge our collective haul from all 3 visits. This is the merch we bought from the artist alley the first time around we came. I didn't realize how many stalls there actually were on this day, so I only bought from like 2 of them, but I'll probably end up going back when it's on. This stuff is from Daiso, Japanese dollar store. We do have Daiso back home, but because I'm kind of on holiday, I felt very lenient with my spending. And you can see a few of the things we bought were for necessity, but a lot of it was just stuff that I wanted or stuff that I thought was cute. So I got it. So these things are from Maido, I don't know how to pronounce it, but there were 2 stores in Japantown, and I was excited because I recognized some of the art they sold here. And now I just have a lot of stickers and I don't know what to do with them, but I'm happy that I bought them. I don't remember where we bought this plushie, but it's from a popular Japanese artist who draws adorable cats, and this is honestly one of the cutest plushies I have ever seen. He looks like slightly sad and it makes me want to give him a lot of hugs. We also visited a few jewellery stores that I think had the same stock. Maybe they were the same shop, I'm not really sure. I really wanted to buy more earrings because they had a lot of really pretty jewellery that I've seen similar styles of online, but I had to hold myself back. Not all of these ones are mine. The last place we went to was Kinokuniya, which we do have back home. I will definitely be going back to Japantown and probably spending more money there. So we're actually moving to a new place today, and before we leave, here's a little clip of what our current stay looks like and the view of what you see. Apart from that, I think this is the end of the video. This was my first month in San Francisco. I know it doesn't seem like we did that many things, but we're here for a few months, so we have a lot of time and we don't really want to burn through all of our money, you know. Most of the days of the week I'm just working on my art stuff, which I plan to make a studio vlog about, and most nights we just kind of eat in, play video games, watch shows and movies and stuff. It's been really nice and cozy. I'm really enjoying it here, and I hope you stick around for the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!